today. From Paul Brown Stadium in Cincinnati, it's Week 8 of the NFL on EA Sports. Cincinnati Bengals taking on Josh Allen and the Brooklyn Bulls.
From the banks of the Ohio River, there's a look at Paul Brown Stadium here in Cincinnati, Ohio. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Brooklyn Bulls and the Cincinnati Bengals.
Eddie Pinheiro set to kick off.
Lurching closer toward the midway point of this NFL season, and we're underway on EA Sports. Fielded a couple yards into the end zone. And the decision to come out of the end zone is going to cost him 5 yards as he's taken down right at the 20. Here come the Bengals now to take over. They will be led out by the former Georgia Bulldog. It's Jake Fromm.
And this is a game for grit, determination, and somehow finding a way not to panic. What a horrible start for them. I mean, they haven't won a game yet. So now, as a quarterback, you're not just talking to your team. You've got to demonstrate to them what they need to do to win. He's got to be the leader by how he plays.
Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
2nd and 11 at the 20-yard line.
On 2nd down, here's Fromm. Rush coming, and he's taken down. Marcus Davenport. Credit him with a sack, and it goes as a loss of 6. I don't think this is the script they had in mind for their opening drive. This is 3rd and long. Now the pressure comes, and he goes down. Just inside the 10, back at the 9.
A loss of 5.
It always helps for a visiting team to come in and set the tone on defense. In fact, when we talked with them prior to the game, they said they wanted this home crowd to feel like they had to hide their valuables when they were in town.
Well, the home crowd quiet now early. See if their offense can take over and get some points on the board. So this will be accepted as it moves the offense backwards. So the special teams penalty cost some yardage there as they come out on 1st and 10. Now Joe Mixon. They give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6.
He's brought down at the 39-yard line.
On the run, it's Mixon. He'll get about 3 as he's brought down right around the 42.
Brandon, all things considered, they have to feel pretty good about getting that type of a gain, considering the blitz that they just had against them.
They give to Mixon to try to pick it up. And he's got the 1st down as he's up to the 45-yard line. Mixon with a 1st down carry. And a minimal gain here as he's up to about the 47-yard line.
The tackle made at the
certainly a nice job there by the defense rallying to the football and getting him on the ground, but I think the play gets made by the defensive front because if they can't get upfield, their job is to go ahead and get low, almost get into a ball sometimes, stack things up, and make it difficult for the runner to find a hole.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. Here's the first carry of the game for Cam Akers. There he goes, right side. Touchdown. Cam Akers, his 11th touchdown of the year. And his guys have taken a first-quarter lead. And now Sean McDermott's made the call. They'll go for 2.
Earlier in the week when they had their scouting report meeting, this was the explosiveness that they talked about trying to contain. They were concerned about it all week, yet he still did it to them. Wonder how that's going to carry over the rest of the game.
So they went for 2 and failed. They didn't use him on the PAT, but now he boots this one away with a 6-0 lead. Now this will make it into the end zone. And he won't return this one. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll start at the 25. Cincinnati coming back onto the field here for their second drive. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means they're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. Now from to pass on second down. Throwing over the middle, but it's incomplete. Tyler Boyd, the intended receiver. And it'll bring up third down.
Incomplete. Makes it third down and
out of the shotgun, here's Fromm. And he took the contact as he was throwing it, and the ball drops incomplete.
And incomplete.
That certainly looks like nothing to show now from these first 2 possessions. And guess what? When you're on a losing streak, that can lead to a full sense of, here we go again. So on the sidelines, the offensive play callers, quarterback, they got to get together and dial something up to start their next drive. Otherwise, it could be a long game.
At their own 20.
Back onto the field comes this offense, ready for their second drive. They'll begin on the ground with Akers. He'll have a first down past the 40. And he will take this one in for a touchdown. Cam Akers, his second touchdown of the game, giving him 12 on the season. And his guys get the quick strike touchdown. And now a 2-point conversion attempt forthcoming.
There's not much that's perfect in football, but that's about as close to it as you're going to get. Score, force a punt, score again.
And both drives were impressive. The opening drive was, that last one was. Now on the other side, though, what's your psyche? You're really behind the 8 ball.
You got to make sure you just hold in there. Survive the early storm, relax a little bit, and try and get back to your game plan. It's way too early for panic.
And it'll come out to the 25 as he will not attempt to return. Now the Cincinnati offense ready to see what they can do here. This is their third drive. Right now, maybe not about points, just about getting something. They haven't gotten a first down yet in this game.
It's a mental barrier you don't think about until you go a couple of drives without getting a first down. Then all of a sudden it looms big. It gets harder and harder to actually attain that first down.
The 23-yard line.
They'll run now with Gaskin. And not much there. Maybe a yard up to the 24. And on third down, a nickel formation here defensively.
Makes it third and 11.
Throwing is Fromm. He's going to hit his man out of the backfield, complete. And this effort won't be enough as they rally up to stop him a couple of yards short.
On third down, you'll give them that. You just want to make sure that you play the first down line. They were able to get him down and force the punt.
The punt team on now as Pinion sends this one away. Fielded at the 20. It'll go as a 42, make it a 43-yard punt. 6 on the return. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. Here's Brooklyn to once again go on offense. And they hit the home run last drive. One play on the ground all the way to the house. Now the defense, maybe they're expecting a run here.
Partner, I love your description because when we talk about hitting the home run, we're usually thinking about a passing play, aren't we? Something in the air, deep ball. But how about them just taking it big-time jaunt? Now if you're coming back out, now they've established this run game, the play-action pass could very well be open.
That's a really nice job by them picking up the run blitz and detecting it and blocking it and turning it into a nice run. And a lot of times you think if you blitz a running play, you're going to smother it. but a lot of the blitzers, they come in a little bit high. They don't have great leverage, and they're easily blocked and turned to the side.
A gain of 13. It's a first down. One thing's for sure, this defense has to figure out how to stop the ground game. He's eating them up here in the first quarter.
It looks like they have to go to different forces, aren't they? The conventional things aren't working too well. So I remember a coach of mine saying way back when a back's having a great game, you've got to get the ball out of his hands. See how far he can run without the ball. And what he meant was takeaways, knock it loose, because maybe you can't just stop him with just regular tackling.
And across midfield he goes and into Bengal territory. Just what you want on a first down run. Call it 8 yards. And it's 2nd and 2.
At the Bengals' 46-yard line.
A toss left, Mixon. And he'll lose yardage here. Back at the 47. He'll lose a yard on the play, so now they need 3 yards on 3rd down.
And it's 3rd down.
Mixon with it. And he will have first down yardage as he's brought down at the 41. They get 6 on the pickup there as the drive will continue.
Well, that was big right there because they're in the bottom 5 in the league and converting on 3rd down. They needed that pickup in a big way.
There were 2 things they said they wanted to win in this game. One, the turnover battle, and the second, 3rd down conversions. So they got one there. They'll run on first down with Akers. And that'll hurt the average a bit as this time they're able to get him behind the line. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11. Now Allen going to give this one to Cam Akers. A beautiful fake. Give him 3 yards on the run there. That still leaves him with a difficult 3rd and 8 coming up. Allen now looks to throw. And that will be incomplete. They couldn't hook up on what's going to be the final play of this first quarter. 14-0 the score. This is the NFL on EA Sports. So here we go. The offense is going to stay out there. They're going for it on 4th and 8. Allen off the play fake. That'll be taken in there by Miles Boykin. And they're able to get this one past the 30 to the 25-yard line. 4th down, no problem. Just a ho-hum pickup of 14 to keep the offense on the field. On play action, Allen rolling to his left. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up 2nd down. An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. So they fake the handoff. Now Allen. That's caught by Waller out left side. And they'll get this down to the 10. 15 yards on the play, 1st down.
Good strong throw and catch right there. And so far in this game, the alleys have been open for them to get completions, and they're taking advantage of it.
Rolling to his right, toward the pylon, caught. And he's into the end zone for the receiving touchdown. Christian Kirk. His 6th touchdown of the season. And his guys find a way to stretch that lead. And now Sean McDermott's made the call. They'll go for 2. So simple math here in the first half. They've had 3 drives offensively, and they have scored every time, and they've got the lead.
Well, whenever we talk about adjustments, we usually talk about an offense making adjustments, right? This is all about the defense. They've got to figure out some way, somehow to slow them down. Do they blitz a little bit more? Do they play more zone coverage? Right now, they don't know where to go because they're hitting them in every direction.
And this will not be returned. It'll come out to the 25. There again is the running back as he trots onto the field. They've given him some touches. They haven't had a lot of success on the ground. You may be under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Marcus Davenport, the first rounder out of UTSA with a sack. Sacks a growing theme in this first half. This is 2nd and long.
I'm starting to feel for that quarterback back there. I mean, you know me. Normally, don't have a lot of empathy for the QB, right? In this case, definitely.
Oh, the pressure too great, and he goes down once more. Marcus Davenport picks up his 2nd sack of the afternoon. Now the Bengals on 3rd down. 0 for 3 to this point. They could use a conversion. This will be 3rd and a mile. From the gun, it's Fromm. And this is going to be incomplete. The passing game not in sync here early. And now it's 4th down.
This offense has definitely been slow getting out of the gate. It's almost like they missed their wake-up call for this one. No points on their first 2 possessions, and now it's looking like none on this one either.
It's a 39-yard punt, 3 on the return, and the offense will take over with a new set of downs. Here's Brooklyn to once again go on offense. And they had the touchdown during the last drive, and I'm guessing that you like the balance they had on that last drive.
And I loved it. Forget liking it. Absolutely love what they were doing, because to be ahead of a defense that much, where every play call you have, run or pass, is working pretty well for you.
Makes you look like a genius.
It really does. It also lets you know that your preparation was pretty good, and now the defense has to do all the adjusting.
Well, any lane that might have been open there was closed pretty quickly, and that was because the defensive front, they won that battle at the point of attack at the line of scrimmage. They used great leverage, held their spot, and stacked him up.
This offense so far on 3rd down, they've been okay. 2 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 4. And he will not be able to hang on through the contact. It's incomplete. The coverage strong, and now it's 4th down.
Oftentimes when you're losing a game and the team's still throwing with this kind of a lead, you start playing a little more physically. And they took that opportunity right there to be extremely physical and force that incompletion.
This offense converted once on 4th down earlier. Now they're out there again to try once more. Got a man, and he hits him in stride. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. They go for it on 4th down, and it pays off big time as they pick up 29.
Let's just call it what it is. This has been a flat-out struggle for this defense all game long. They've really had a hard time slowing them down. And while I'm not big on speeches and guys jumping up and down, they might need their team leader on defense to get in their face right now and light a fire under these guys. They've got to start playing better assignment football and start getting guys on the ground.
So from inside the 20, here's 1st and 10 at the 18. Inside the red zone here, they'll look to throw. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete.
That was a touchdown if he could have hung on. Instead, it was a well-timed collision to jar that one free.
Allen will try again on 2nd down. To the goal line, but it's incomplete. Darren Waller, the intended receiver, but now it'll be 3rd down.
Normally you think the tight end's going to be able to catch the football and handle that contact, but in this case, maybe a little too much target to hit. That one was timed well, incomplete.
Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. On play action, Allen on the move to his left. That's going to be caught at the 10-yard line. And he nearly got the first himself, but it appears he's going to be about a yard or 2 short. They do get 9, but it leads to 4th down. And no move to get the offense off the field. They'll stay put on 4th and 1. They run for it with Mixon, and he gets the first down yardage he needs before he's brought down at the 6. They only got a couple, but a couple's all that they needed as they convert on 4th. Prior to that, they were 2 for 2 on 4th down conversions in this ball game. Now 3 for 3.
And you've got to figure their luck's got to run out at some point, doesn't it? I will just tell you from a defense's point of view, someone has to step forward.
And did he get in? Yes, they say it's a touchdown. Joe Mixon, his 4th touchdown on the year. And his guys are going to add on to their lead. He had the option to hand that football off. I think it's safe to say that he made the right decision. That was a heck of a run.
It certainly was. And when you mention the option, most people think the quarterback's not going to keep the ball. You know, in the NFL, that's usually not the recipe for being around too long. So when you do keep it, it often surprises the heck out of a defense.
Taken in the end zone. And he'll decide to not bring this one out as their drive will begin at the 25. Getting set to go again as we look at the back heading onto the field again. He's just been looking for some space. You know, I'm not going to pin it on him or the offensive line, but they need to get this run game going better.
Sometimes you just have to credit the defense. They came in with a plan themselves. So I think now you try to mix things up a little bit. Get the ball in the hands of some other people, find some other playmakers,
but always let the defense believe that he's still a threat.
I was going to say, don't forget about him.
No, don't take him totally out of the game.
And his pass incomplete.
I tell you, Brandon, this defense is playing with some confidence. Haven't allowed a point yet. Flying to the football. I'm telling you, it's almost 11 to the ball on every snap. Another nice job there to force an incompletion.
And he's going to be brought down here in the backfield. Marcus Davenport getting him once again his third sack of the afternoon. And they weren't in zone coverage. They were in man, and each man did his job.
And that looked like vintage, old-school coverage, didn't it? Man coverage reminded me of an old Raiders team. They had a Hall of Famer at one corner and a Defensive Player of the Year at the other, and they just locked people down.
From. And the pressure gets to him again. That sack by Tremaine Edmonds. Here's Bradley Pinion now. 2 minutes remaining in this first half of football. Coming up at halftime, we remind you once again that we're going to check in with Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have stats and scores from around the NFL as we reach now, hard to believe, the halfway point of the season. Time flying.
It certainly is. Time to get the sweaters out, my man.
Call it 46 yards on the punt, just a single yard on the return as he was covered quickly. And out will come the offense as they take over. On the NFL scoreboard, an update from Foxborough. Now, you saw the score at the bottom of your screen a moment ago. We got a good one going on there. Baker Mayfield with 2 first-half touchdown passes. On first down, they'll start out with Akers. He finds an opening past the 40. And finally, down at the 41-yard line. Solid way to start the drive. 13 yards, picking up the first.
We use the word relentless a lot with guys who are aggressive on the field. In this case, it really fits, doesn't it? How about his ability to break tackles and his feet never stop moving?
They keep it on the ground. This time it's Mixon. And that play goes nowhere. He's met behind the line, and a penalty flag may add insult to injury. So that one will be accepted.
Still first down.
They're backed up here with a 1st and 20 now after the holding penalty. They'll run here with Akers. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. This will be a 2-yard loss on the play. And it'll make this a 2nd and long. Looking sideline, incomplete. Darren Waller, the intended receiver. 3rd down here.
That was an interesting look there because as soon as he got outside the pocket, I thought he was going to take off and run for yardage. But what often happens now with these quarterbacks who can move, defenses want to try and keep bodies in front of them, and I think that discouraged him from taking off and made him try a pass downfield that fell incomplete.
And he'll be taken down by the Bengal pressure. Now the Bengals going to use the first of their timeouts as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half. And how about this? 4th and long, and they're going to go for it. They do go for it. Here's Allen. That's going to be caught by Kirk. And he takes it all the way down to the 32. Now the offense going to use the first of their timeouts as the clock shows 50 seconds to play here in half number 1. Play action. Now it's Allen. They'll roll him out right. That is caught right at the 10-yard line. And he will take it in for the touchdown. Miles Boykin, his 14th touchdown now on the year. And this offense continues to pour it on.
That score that they just gave up there, that's a tough one for their defense to swallow because they've had a tough time through the first 2 quarters. They really were
determined to get a stop there, unable to do so. That makes their comeback hopes that much more difficult.
Defensively, certainly not fooled there. Play started at the 2, and he was tackled at the 2.
That has to feel good for them. Not happy about having given up the touchdown, but stopping the 2-point conversion gives them a little bit of a lift as they head to the bench.
And he'll just sit on this one as their drive will start at the 25. Cincinnati now ready to take the field. And you're under a minute to go in the half, a first half that hasn't been particularly kind to you. How do you think they'll play this?
Well, I think the smart approach is to run out the clock, lick your wounds at the half, and see if you can come up with a strategy to play better in the second. But there's also something to challenging your offense right here. You know, hey, guys, you help dig this hole. See if you can get us out of it a little bit before the half runs out. Let's go make some plays.
At the 25-yard line.
57's the mic. Watch 57. Ain't no
Looking to throw from man open. That's complete to Dalton Schultz. The Bengals going to use the second of their timeouts, as it'll come with 36 ticks to go in half number 1. Under pressure, and down he goes. Now a second timeout called for by the defense, as they'll stop it with a little over 30 seconds to go in the first half of play. Here's Bradley Pena now, as he's on for the 5th time here today. And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. A 40-yard punt, 5 yards on the return. On the NFL scoreboard, second quarter up in Minneapolis. Early on, it's the Vikings in the driver's seat. I have a feeling that one's going to stay tight throughout. We'll continue to monitor. Off the play fake. Allen steps away. Open man is Kirk, complete. And he finally is out of bounds, but he's down inside the 20-yard line. A big play there just before halftime. 45 yards. So the big play means just like that, they'll operate from the red zone now on first down. He'll buy some time right to the end zone, but it's incomplete. So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10.
It's 2nd down and 10.
Off play action. Allen sliding out of the pocket. And he will take this one in for a touchdown. Miles Boykin in the final seconds of the first half, as his guys continue to put this one out of reach.
And that's a lead that excites a team as they head into the half. Good way to finish things off.
Yeah, able to extend that lead, and you always say it, that can totally change the complexion of half number 2.
Yeah, it changes your morale, changes your outlook. But even before that, let's see if they decide to kind of squib kick or what they're going to do on the kickoff, because you don't want to give up a big play right before the half ends.
Good point. Taken about 7 yards deep. And not wanting to risk anything here late in the half, he'll just take a knee, and they'll bring the football out to the 25. The Bengals drive about to get going. And from this spot in the field with the clock where it's at, you think we're just going to see a knee and that's it?
And I think in this situation, that's the proper play. But we do know there's some risk takers out there that may want to take one more shot before the clock runs out.
Well, the white flag coming out as they line up to kneel on it. Well, I know we hold off on the halftime update after all. Seems like everyone's ready to go here for the second half in Week 8 in the NFL. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully. Here's Brooklyn to once again go on offense. And last time out, another touchdown. And I think there may be some empty seats around here by the time the 4th quarter comes around.
Yeah, I have to agree with you because this one's just about decided. But you know who benefits from all those empty seats? You and me, trying to get to the airport.
That's
the road
true.
to be fairly clear
that is
by the time
one
we have to
positive.
leave the booth.
So now then, the big play has him all the way inside the 30 now, 1st and 10. Now Allen. He'll get 8 on the scramble there. It'll be 2nd and a couple. And now it looks like they're going to be in the hurry-up. That's going to be caught. And he gets into the end zone for the touchdown. From 17 yards out as his guys continue to pour it on. And now Sean McDermott's made the call. They'll go for 2.
And this is obviously quite a performance. And most of the time when we talk about someone putting a team on their back, I think we're talking about a guy who runs the football. In this case, it's a guy out wide catching it, and he's done exactly that, truly leading his team right now towards victory.
3 touchdown catches. He's been the headliner. Fielded a couple yards into the end zone. And they'll get him down right at the 25-yard line, so the same result, and he opted for the touchback. The Cincy offense about ready to go here on their next drive. They are right now just ice cold. I mean, they have struggled big time in this game, and they're getting blown out. How do they adjust?
So tough because we always talk about it being a team game and you need all 11 working well together. But every now and then, partner, you need that one guy who can make a play against all odds that maybe can ignite things. And I think that's what they're looking for right now.
In trouble, and he's taken down. Marcus Davenport in there to get him, and that is sack number 6 now for him on the year. These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down.
Mike 57, Mike 57. Let's go.
Here's Fromm to throw. And that is incomplete.
But we saw that he had a lot of success last week throwing the football, but that hasn't translated to this week. But with his team behind, I don't expect him to back off. I expect him to keep firing.
44 on his first punt, and this is a good kick as well. It's a 43-yard punt, a return of 5.
First down and 10.
Here's Brooklyn to once again go on offense. They've really distanced themselves. They have put the pedal to the metal, I guess, so to speak.
So definitely have them in the rearview mirror, don't they? I mean, you're exactly right. Being able to string together these drives that end up in points, it's almost like a run in basketball to create that distance, and they're on a really big-time one right now.
It becomes contagious, doesn't it?
It absolutely does, because oftentimes it translates to your defense as well, because they're excited.
And touchdown! Christian Kirk, his 2nd touchdown of the afternoon. And this offense is running away with this one. So Allen breaks the huddle, and his guys will go for 2 here.
In order to lead in a game, you're going to get plenty of contributors, but that's his 2nd touchdown catch of this game. He's one of the key guys in this one.
And you better believe he'll be looking for the hat trick here as this one continues to go. Now after the touchdown, here's Pinheiro to kick it off. This taken in about 4 yards deep, and he'll just take a seat, and the drive will begin at the 25-yard line. The Bengals set to take over. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
Well, you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes this out and puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
Successful start to the drive, 17 yards, and moves the sticks.
It's just me and you. It's me and you. 57 to Mike. 57 to Mike.
On first down, Fromm. Quick hitter here, it's complete. And this will leave him a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on first down. That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves him with a very manageable 2nd and 1. And he stopped immediately there.
He has elite instincts from his linebacker spot. He's able to diagnose the run and flies in like a missile to stop that one behind the line of scrimmage.
3rd and 1.
He's not going to get me.
They'll look to throw for it on 3rd and 1. And he's got his man out of the backfield. That's complete. Got what they needed there. The drive continues with a 9-yard pickup. Nothing in that first half, nothing on the last drive, but they're moving now with a 1st and 10. Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. Oh, hit as he throws there, incomplete. So 2nd and 10, 3rd quarter. Thanks for tagging along with us here from the Queen City of Cincinnati. This is Gaskin on the carry. And they will only muster a yard here to the 38. They need to get to the 29 if they want to pick up a first here on 3rd down.
Brings up 3rd down and 9.
Watch the curl. Watch the curl.
Now they'll throw here out of the gun. And he'll be hit as as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
He's had trouble finding open receivers all game, CD, and that's because really there hasn't been many. This defense has been all over him.
Yeah, they're one of the better defenses in the league, and every time I talk to someone around the NFL, they all say the exact same thing. They're so fundamentally sound, it's hard to execute against them. Well, this winds up an empty possession. Everything looked okay. He just never got the ball on target. And knowing him, he'll be disappointed with that effort.
Buying time to his left. That's caught on the left side by Kirk. And he's going to get this one down to the edge of the red zone. It's a gain of 35. What a game it's been for this duo.
They remind me of a good comedy team. They know how to play off of each other so well. No matter how one riffs, the other's right there to pick them up, and they are shredding them in this ball game.
Now a throw to the end zone on first down, but it winds up incomplete. After the incompletion, here's 2nd and 10 from the 20. Off the play fake. Allen. Toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete. So now 3rd and 10. A big play to start the drive, but nothing since. Off play action. Allen.
Yards to go.
And looking for Kirk, but this pass is intercepted.
Darius Slay with a pick. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Their passing game has been spectacular this afternoon. Finally, a win for the defense.
You think maybe there was an adjustment there. Finally gained a measure of...
No, bottled up. Fumble. It's out. It's loose.
Jake Fromm sack.
Dangerous spot for them to cough it up. Lucky to have recovered because had the defense gotten it, they were already within a shadow of the goalpost.
Yeah, and then you're yelling at your own defense. Sudden change, sudden change. That's not what you want to hear on your sideline. That means you got to run out there and try and stop an offense who has the ball in a very advantageous position.
That one good for a first down pickup of 18 yards. Here's Gaskin. And not a whole lot doing there as he'll get it up to about the 28-yard line. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
A gain of a yard. Brings up 2nd and 9.
Back to throw here. And he almost intercepted it. They haven't picked a ball off yet. That probably should have been their first. And it's 3rd down now.
3rd down and 9 yards to go.
Hey, D-line, let's get in there. Let's get in there now.
Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. And that's going to be incomplete. The contact there enough to jar that ball free. And it brings up 4th down.
The passing windows are just not there, and that's just another example of how great this defense has been all game long.
And that's exactly what a top 10 defense can do. They can really change the game tempo and frustrate you as you try to execute offensively.
Here's Brooklyn to once again go on offense. And they had a nice little drive going last time. Threw the interception in the red zone. Costly.
Bad enough to throw it anywhere, but that drives coaches insane when they're thinking about, hey, we've got a shot at points already. We're already in a spot where you're thinking you've got 3 on the board for sure, and to come away with nothing, that's a really tough one for them to swallow.
Yeah, will they make up for it? Rolling to his right, and he finds a man on the crossing route. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. That's a good chunk of yardage. It's going to be canceled out.
And we always talk about hidden yardage in a game. That's going to count as that because now it doesn't go on the books, but now they have to make that up again, don't they?
Now a deep ball here hauled in just past the 50. And they do get him out of bounds finally, but the damage is done. A big hitter on what proves to be the final play of the 3rd quarter. Back now in Cincinnati. And this is a blowout so far as we get set for the 4th quarter. A very one-sided affair. And so close, he gets it to the 1. Out of bounds right there. A good pickup there, a 22. They have the nice cushion. They just want to pour it on right now, still throwing the football.
And I know my background says, why do you need to do this? Just go ahead and run out the clock and get a win. But as many people have pointed out to me.
And he's into the end zone for the receiving touchdown. From a yard out. And this offense continues to pour it on. So Allen breaks the huddle, and his guys will go for 2 here.
Even though they've got this big advantage, Charles, they are not taking their foot off the gas pedal right now.
Well, I think what we're seeing is the result of all their great preparation and great practice time during the week. And even though it seems like this is a great chance to pull people back and maybe, not try and score a few more times, they don't want to do that. I think they're enjoying what they're seeing, the collective effort, and they want to play it all the way out.
At their own 25-yard line.
And out now, here come the Bengals. And let's face it, this drive is not going to have any bearing on this game, but it's kind of important for one reason, isn't it?
It certainly is. You got to get point.
Weaving through traffic, and now he's free. He's at the 30. And he's able to get this way down deep into enemy territory. A big play there on the catch and run. 57 yards. A real field flipper there as all of a sudden they've got a first down in the red zone. On the handoff, it's Gaskin. And he'll get this one down to about the 17. Give him maybe a yard. Quite the opposite from the previous bit. Gainer. The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. Another run with Gaskin. And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. They'll wind up losing 3. And now it's 3rd down.
I'm coming after you. I'm coming after you. 57 to Mike. 57 to Mike.
From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. And that is incomplete.
Another pass attempt, another incompletion. You figure defensively, you're in the 4th quarter here. You've held the team under 100 yards passing. You've done your job.
Especially in today's NFL, which is truly a pass-first league.
The kick is good. Makes the score Bulls 68. Bengals.
Well, it's a Pyrrhic victory at best, but Charles, no team wants to get shut out, so it's hard to blame them for taking the 3 there.
You can't blame them one bit. It hasn't been the best performance, that's for darn sure. But there is something to be said for fighting to avoid the goose egg, and they're at least trying to finish out strong.
The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. And it would appear that the open week a week ago came just at the right time as they have dominated the proceedings here into this 4th quarter. Alex Highsmith there on the tackle. Going right back to Akers.
And they will finally get to him down at the Bengals 28. And they rattle off a big one. 49 yards on the ground.
Well, that's a carry they have to be satisfied with. And throughout this game, they've been satisfied with what he's given them. Whenever they've needed a big run, a first down, he's the guy they've turned to. And it doesn't matter what the defense thinks. They've got the confidence to keep handing it to him and keep picking up good yardage.
And he'll take it into the end zone for a touchdown. Joe Mixon with his 2nd touchdown of the afternoon as his guys continue to put this one out of reach. So Allen breaks the huddle, and his guys will go for 2 here. As that lead just swells and swells. Look, this has been dominance in all 3 phases, offense, defense, and special teams.
So don't we have to give a lot of credit, not just to what we've seen today, but the preparation in advance, coaching staff, commitment by the players to the game plan, and being ready to go in this one? You're exactly right. Clean sweep. And, boy, they're going to celebrate this one after it's over.
And on the other side, this is the game film you just flush and never go back and review.
Check, check, check. Hey, check, Mike 57, Mike 57. I'm coming after you. I'm coming after you. 18 Cardinal, 18 Cardinal. Record.
They'll throw on first down to throw. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves them with 2 to go on 2nd down. Here's a 2nd and 2 now from the 33.
At the 33-yard line.
Let's 57, 57. Here we go, let's bring it. Let's go, let's bring it. Let's bring it.
Throwing is from. And a quick throw here, that's complete.
That's good.
Hard to believe
his first catch of the game defensively. They bottled him up. That's why they're well on their way to victory.
Put your best cover guy on him and then change the coverages behind him throughout the game. Brackets, double, zone, man, you name it. Make sure he gets a lot of angles.
And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. 10 yards there on a Bengal first.
First and 10 at the 49-yard line.
First and 10 from out of his hands quickly to Higgins. And they're going to be set up down around the 15-yard line. A big play on the catch and run, covering 34 yards. So after the big play, look at this, all the way down at the 15 now on first and 10. Defensively, I know they have the comfortable lead here in the fourth, but they do not want to give up big plays like that.
They want to finish strong. So oftentimes in this situation, you tighten up underneath in your coverage, and you bring your safeties back. They can pick up anything that leaks through. But in the meantime, upfield, you're making plays on the football.
Now a handoff looking right. And this play doesn't go anywhere. Backwards, losing yardage to the 11. It'll be a loss of a couple on the play, so now third down coming up.
Brings up third down and 6.
Out of the shotgun, here's Fromm. And it's caught. And the Bengals are going to have first and goal as they try to finish off this drive with 6 points. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a first and goal. Well, they've had a great, impressive drive going here, and that pickup ensures the drive continues.
And not only do you continue the drive, which is demoralizing for the guys on the defensive side of the ball right now, but you make your own defense happy. They're able to get a little more rest over on the sidelines while this one continues downfield.
They'll try and run for it on first and goal. And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair.
5-yard line.
Mike 54. Mike 54. Stop your whining.
Now Fromm to pass on second down. And he's across for the touchdown. Too little, too late. But he does get in for 6.
No wonder you're grinning. You just beat me in our fantasy league.
Indeed I did, my good man. See, it seemed like they were so focused on the guys out wide, they forgot about him out of the backfield.
That's a really good point because you got to communicate, and oftentimes when you start counting receivers, that's exactly what you do. You start from the widest receiver, work your way inside. Who gets lost sometimes? The back in the backfield. That's exactly what happened there.
And he got into the end zone.
And 10 at their own 1-yard line.
The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. And this game comfortably in hand. The scoreboard speaks for itself, but you still got your starting quarterback out there. When do you go to the backup? Let him get some time.
And that's one of the great questions in the NFL, Brandon, because I'm just going to tell you, in the 2015 season, I commentated on 3 games in a row. There were blowouts. And in none of them did the starting quarterback ever come out of the game for the team that had a big lead. And in each instance, I asked the coaches later on, why didn't you do that? And they all looked at me and said, just don't really do that in the NFL. You know, these guys play, and we just play them all the way through. Now, in certain situations, they will take them out, but for the most part, they're not as worried and concerned about getting them out of the game. And that's always puzzled me a little bit.
Oh, there's that man again. It's complete. 2 chunk plays in a row. The last one was over 20 yards, and so is this one. Continuing to keep their foot on it. And he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly.
Well, there's just about a minute left in this game, and they're still taking it into the end zone. And you know they could have taken a knee there, but they decided to play this one all the way out. And I think their philosophy is, we're going to give you everything we've got. If we just go ahead and take a knee now, we're actually showing you disrespect that way, like taking pity on you. They're not about to do that to their opponent. I think this is just going to be a function of the times we live in now. Very similar to the bat flip in baseball. Everyone's got to start to get comfortable with this. But to me, this is just rubbing it in. You got a big lead. Go ahead and take the extra point. One thing to keep in mind, though, karma's still out there, and sometimes it has a way of catching up with you.
Cincinnati set to take over once again. And you hate to see this for them, but they're looking at yet another loss to begin this season. Things really going from bad to worse as they trail here starting this drive. He's got a man complete. And he takes it all the way down to the 32. On first down, he'll drop to throw. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. And that play is blown up, losing yardage back at the 35. But despite the completion, they're going to wind up losing 3 there. Second down. This will be a gain of about 8 to the 27-yard line.
Today's final score.
A big offensive explosion helped leading them to victory. And the defensive guys, they're just saying, hey, put those points up every week. We'll just keep winning.
They will gratefully